It must be coming out of your own breath
Nah,
because I don't. There's no alcohol in here.
I think that's the alcohol.
Don't start insulting my partner. Man.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like
really want to start going there?
you're saying that I'm drinking
I'm a
and I'm
fucking
not drinking.
recovering alcoholic, and you're gonna fucking accuse me of drinking.
Yeah, he's recovering, man. He's very.
How the fuck is he a cop then?
Hey, shit happens, alright? So, anyways,
Did he just leave?
yeah, he got.
Is he crying?
Hello.
What's up?
Not much. What's up with you and the kitty?
Not much. He just had his second adoption meeting, and he was a little less evil during this meeting. So I think maybe he'll get adopted. But I'll miss him. Oh.
Time to go. Time to
That's
go.
He doesn't like Zoom meetings because that's how he was on the last adoption meeting, and I think that's why they didn't take him. He kept biting me.
Oh, it was on Zoom. Were they both on Zoom? They haven't
Yeah,
met him in
but this time
person?
I kind of tricked him because I just had it on my phone and I had my AirPods in, so he didn't know he was on a Zoom meeting.
He hates Zoom.
Oh, I thought you said he hates Zoom.
That is what I said. What? What?
At first I thought you said he hates Zoom, then I thought you said he hates you. And I was like,
No.
harsh, but okay.
No. He hates Zoom. Sorry.
That's okay. Sorry, getting a slow start. Haven't left the house yet today, so this is kind of the main event so far.
Nice. Me neither. I haven't slept much. Even though it's late in the afternoon at this point, but
What's going on?
just sleep problems.
Just sleep problems. Okay. Happens to everyone.
Yeah. So
Uh,
episode 7 of Out to the Nets. Here we are. A few games have happened since last week. But nothing too crazy. Obviously, they had the national televised game against the Knicks. That was really fun.
hmm That was the only one I watched the whole game of. It was fun. Rivals week or whatever. I thought was exciting. Um, I would have loved to go to that game because it was at Barclays. Um, but just watching it on TV, I was getting pretty annoyed. I was like, I really don't like Knicks fans coming to Barclays and booing the Nets.
I
Like,
know.
I know that's how it works, but it was driving me insane.
It is super lame
I don't,
because what are they
I
even booing about? Like, just go back uptown, you losers.
literally, and I feel like I have some decorum, I have some respect. Like, I wouldn't go to someone else's home court and act up. I felt the same way when I went to the Celtics Nets game at Barclays. More Celtics fans than there were Nets fans, and they were horrendous. I was like, look around. Look where you are. We're so generously hosting you here.
I know. They should have. They're the type of people that like need to get jumped. Sorry. Sorry.
Cut that out. No, I feel the same thing. I just think it's sports fans are annoying. Okay, I had a question I've been asking people this week, and I think it would be interesting to ask you this question, but I'm gonna adapt it a little bit because you actually live in DC. But if you had to be a sports fan and live also in one of these cities, Boston or Philadelphia?
Uh, I mean, come on. I mean, that is. I gotta go Boston though. I have to go Boston. There's no chance. There's
You're going
absolutely
Boston?
no chance I'm going Philadelphia. Trust me, because I live in DC, I know. Talk about annoying sports fans. These mother. the Eagles fans, or I guess Sixers fans also, like the Sixers media and like sports writers, like I don't know, there was a bunch of drama with Joel Embiid earlier this year. I don't know if you heard about any of that, but like that shit
Yeah.
is all just ridiculous. I hate Philadelphia sports fans. I'm sorry if you are one of those, but you might be one of the good ones, one of the few good ones. If you're, but you can fuck off. I'm sorry. It's just they are so annoying. I cannot, like Boston fans, they're just more like remote, you know, like they're more like just like I guess for you, you get affected more, even though
Probably.
you're probably closer to Philly than
I
Boston,
am
right?
closer to Philadelphia, but I would say I have more day-to-day interaction with Boston sports fans.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Well, me, I have lots of day-to-day in there. Like, why are you walking around this week with like Philadelphia Eagles gear on in DC?
When when the Commanders also made it to the finals, that's crazy.
They're playing each other tomorrow.
I know. It'd be one thing if it was just the Eagles versus someone else, but I'm rooting for the Commanders. I think that
No,
would
I mean
be sick.
if it's the Eagles versus someone else, it's fine. I mean, whatever, it's
Right.
fine.
But with the
But
Commanders, no.
no, I mean, come on, this has been a historic run for the Commanders. The Commanders haven't had this amount of success in so long, and now these people are like, okay. I also want to say, I think it's just because they have such sorry ass teams that they just they need to be obnoxious. You know, the Eagles for the past like over the past 20-25 years, they've hosted 6 NFC Championship games.
Uh-huh.
That means they were the favorites in the NFC Championship, right? That's the
Yes.
semifinal. They were the favorites in 6 semifinals. They have one Super Bowl win. That's sad. That's pathetic. I'm sorry, Eagles
It is
fans.
sad. It is sad. And I hear you on everything you said, but I want to bring up the point again that that would mean you'd also have to live in Boston. Like, I would so much rather live in Philadelphia than live.
No chance. Are you serious?
I think I choose Philly. Well, so when
You
I
were
was
born in Boston. You were
I,
literally born in
I was
Boston.
there at age 0 to 1. I was not experiencing Boston. I was a baby. All
I
I was
know, but
doing was getting lead paint exposure in Boston. So, all I'm saying, and I've been there in adulthood. I don't vibe with that city. There's something wicked about it.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never been to Philadelphia.
It's cool, but I
It
see.
doesn't, it seems kind of like a shithole. But again, I've never been there, so I don't. I'd much rather live in DC or, well, again, I've never
Well,
been there, so I can't say for sure. Whatever.
so the question I had asked my friends was DC, DC, Philadelphia, or Boston, rank them where to live, not even mentioning sports teams.
I don't
And
even know if I want to hear this.
everyone ranked DC last. Not me. Not me.
What?
People have this perception of DC that just everyone that walks around is like kind of like these political pod save America type bros, you know?
You know, we have like we who
You're being
travels
so
okay.
controversial
Who
on this podcast. We're
who
gonna
tr who travels across the country or across the world to visit Philadelphia or Boston? No one. DC is one of the biggest tourist attractions in America.
What about the Liberty Bell? That's in Philadelphia.
No one cares about the Liberty Bell. No one would travel to Philadelphia to see the Liberty Bell.
Okay, I probably need to reel it in now because I don't think I think we've lost our way a little bit.
We definitely have. I'm sorry for getting worked up, but it's just the fact that people will rank DC, that's crazy to me. That is so crazy to me.
I think it's also funny that your immediate jump was like racist. Like
Well, I'm just saying.
all these people live in New York City, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that's the main concern. But fair enough, fair enough. I'll bring that feedback back to them.
Well, it's just that we're an actual, like tourists come and visit us because there's stuff to do here. There's things to see, and it's a nice city. A tourist would never go visit Philadelphia or Boston, I feel like, unless they
Yeah,
have
I'd
family
have to
there or
agree.
something. You
I
would
mean,
just go to New York or DC. I mean, if you're gonna come to, I mean, yeah.
New York or nowhere is what they say.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Um, let's get back on topic. So the Nets did lose to the Knicks. Kind of our ideal situation. They put up a good fight. It was a fun game to watch. We didn't get crushed, but we also took the L.
Yeah, we
There
took the
were
L.
there were moments where I thought we were gonna pull it out at the very end.
No, I knew the whole time. I told my friends like they were like, "Oh, are they gonna do this?" Because we did make a bit of a comeback. If I remember correctly, we were down by double digits in like the second quarter or something. But then we kept it close the rest of the way. Uh, and I was like, "No, no, we're gonna lose this by like 1 point," and we almost did lose it by. We lost by 4 points. It could have easily been 1 point. We had two relatively well, one wide open 3-point shot and another contested at the buzzer that wouldn't have mattered. But we had some opportunities to win. It could have been a nice win, especially to end the home losing streak, which I believe we're still on 8 or so games, maybe 9 at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not been great. But they play tonight.
Yes,
Um,
against the Heat, who have been struggling, and it's at Barclays, of course.
yes, Jimmy Butler's on suspension, among other problems. And I think he's still on suspension.
Right. So we talked about 2 episodes ago how we was suspended for 7 games.
And then he got suspended again because he missed a flight.
Right. So he came back for a game. It was super awkward, like we predicted. We were like, what's gonna happen once the 7 games are up? And exactly what we said happened. It was super awkward and weird, and he didn't play well. I think they lost. I mean, I don't follow the Heat that closely, but we could beat the Heat, although they still have some good players, obviously.
We
So
could. I don't know if we should, but I'm gonna be at the game on Monday. This is my third year in a row going to the Nets Lunar New Year game. Every year they have a game that, celebrates the Lunar New Year. They do some sort of questionable dances slash Chinese iconography. And they um it's a fun time. Like all the dancers like do these like really intense hairdos to make them look like Chinese with chopsticks in their hair and stuff.
oh, cool.
You like that?
I like that.
I think it's a little weird, but
The
it's
halftime is the halftime show, you said, right?
yeah.
That's cool. I like a good halftime show.
Okay. You're pro cultural appreciation.
Oh
Not.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Brooklyn does that. Brooklyn does that well. It was against the Suns where it was like what was it was a special day they had or event against the Suns 2 days ago. It was like
Was it MLK Day?
no, no, no. This was Wednesday. Um I'll look it up. Keep talking. Sorry. It is something diversity though. It was kind of cool.
So, what I was gonna say is that I'm going on Monday. They're playing the Kings, my third time at the Lunar New Year game, as previously stated. And tickets were super cheap. I'm very excited. And the day before that, Sunday, I'm gonna watch the AFC Championship at a Chiefs bar. So, looking
A
forward to
Chiefs
that.
bar. Oh wow.
hmm
In
You should,
Brooklyn?
it's in Queens, but you should see if they
Okay.
have one in DC. I feel like that'd be fun.
I know they have a Bills bar right near me. And also,
Don't go there.
yeah, no, I definitely won't. But I have a soccer game right before it, so we might just go drinking at a bar, and I'm sure they'll have the game on
Yeah.
wherever it is.
Maybe it's not as bad for you, but I feel like I can't just walk into any old sports bar here because it'll be 100% Bills fans and it'll drive me
Well,
crazy.
fair enough. It is New York, I guess.
Yeah, so trekking way out there for the Chiefs Bar, which is also a barbecue restaurant. Barbecue restaurant slash Chiefs Bar. Kind of sick. Can't believe I've never been. But, and then the next day doing the Nets game. So very sporty weekend coming up for me.
Okay.
And I'm excited to report back on that.
That's fun.
Did you figure out what Wednesday was? You seem a little distracted.
Sorry, no, I did not. I it's something international. I'm sorry. I
It's
won't
okay.
waste time. I won't waste time figuring. But I like that the Nets do that a lot. I feel like the Wizards do too, obviously, because
It's just
it's
big
a
city.
yeah, and obviously there's a lot of different cultures and stuff with all the embassies and whatnot. But
The
sorry,
oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say, looking ahead at the schedule, the next Nets game that I want to go to is the Lakers game.
Oh yeah, we mentioned that one a couple that's in a few weeks, right?
It's in March, but
Oh, okay. Okay.
uh,
Um, I'm also going to a game this week or next week.
what are you seeing?
The Wizards versus Raptors.
Oh yeah, baby.
Wizards versus Raptors, that's on Wednesday. So I can also report back, even though it's obviously not a big game,
Yep,
but
you can talk about Grady Dick.
I can talk about Grady Dick.
Um,
Yeah.
when I was watching the highlights of the Thunder game that happened this past week, um, which we got crushed. I feel like we're not talking about that game because
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that game. And we also don't have to talk about the Suns game, even though I already brought it up. But
you think
yeah.
there's nothing to discuss there. You just don't even want to touch it.
No, not really. I mean, not really. I mean, I guess again, Jalen Wilson has had another good game.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is Jalen Wilson's shots were going in, and I feel like it's been a while since we've seen that happen. Um, love that.
Yeah. He was starting to turn it around and then he had another slump, but then he had another decent game against the Suns. So he's a bit up and down. It's whatever. Uh but on the Suns side, they got a new center, Nick Richards. They did some small trade. Pretty small trade, but it's actually been pretty impactful and good for them. This guy,
For
yeah,
this, yeah.
for the Suns. It's obviously not going to be a difference maker. They're barely 500. Uh, but I guess it was good for them. The Suns, even though they got Kevin Durant, right? I don't hate them too much. Obviously Kevin Durant, there will always be bad blood, but their new owner seems all right.
And Kevin Durant has good stuff to say about Brooklyn overall. Like, I feel like in some interviews he was doing, because it was like Mikal Bridges' first return to Barclays, I think, and then also Kevin Durant. Obviously not his first return to Barclays, but like we had those two big stars come back this week.
Oh,
Um,
yes, yes.
and in interviews, I feel like the undertone of what I was hearing from Kevin Durant was like, it's all Kyrie's fault. That was the undertone I was getting. Not that he even mentioned his name, I don't think, but he was just like trying to be like, all good vibes. I loved it here. I loved playing here, which we know isn't true. But
I know, but that's nice to hear at least because it was, I mean, almost all Kyrie's fault. I mean, James Harden was the first one to request a trade.
it's actually most his fault, maybe.
James Harden?
Well, not his fault, but I'm the most mad at him, maybe. It was the
At
beginning of
James
the year.
Harden? You're more mad at James Harden than
He was
Kyrie
my
Irving?
favorite player at the time.
I don't know how you can be more mad at James Harden than Kyrie
Well, I'm not
Irving.
saying politically. I'm just saying.
No, from a basket, the reason he requested a trade was because of Kyrie Irving's bullshit. If it
Okay,
wasn't for Kyrie Irving, he would have never requested a trade. I mean, that's what it was.
fair enough. But like, I don't expect very much out of Kyrie Irving. James Harden abandoned us.
Well, so did Kyrie Irving. He been in his right.
Good, but good. I mean,
Yeah, you're right. I was glad when Kyrie Irving left. Oh,
exactly. It was like, you know,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I guess that's a
Whatever.
good point.
We have to argue sometimes about this stuff.
They've both been having pretty good seasons this year, though, unfortunately. I hate to say it, but they're out west, so we don't have to deal with them much.
Yeah. Yeah, it was you know, not a great week. There's one more thing I want to talk about. The trade deadline is rapidly approaching.
Oh crap, yeah, it's February, but what?
February 5th.
What? I thought it was to the 12th for some reason, but no, you're right. Yeah. No, it's the 6th, but yeah.
We still have
Wow.
Cam Johnson.
I know. I mean, something's gotta happen. It's less than 2 weeks away. It's
Do you have
gotta
any
happen.
predictions?
Do I have predictions? Okay, well, obviously, so Jimmy Butler's not going to Memphis. Memphis has been really good. They could trade for Cam Johnson. There's also OKC.
Yeah.
Again, number one seed. I don't know if they want to mess with the Juju. I don't think they would have to give up too many players, though. Just some picks,
Hmm.
which they have a ton of. So if I were to guess, it would be one of those two teams. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I know some people brought up the Pacers as well. Uh, I I feel like that's less likely, though. It
Interesting.
could. I think it'll probably be one of those three teams, right? I
Agreed.
think. I think it's more likely he goes to one of those three teams than he stays on Brooklyn or that he goes to any other team, truthfully.
I
Unless
agree.
is there any, I know your ears to the ground on these things. Have you heard any?
I heard, I mean, there's a very, very low likelihood, I think, of this happening. And I haven't heard anyone saying this is going to happen. But what I've been hearing is just that Sean Marks is looking like for a really good deal. And he might even be willing to hold on to Cam Johnson past the deadline if he doesn't get the deal he's looking for.
Oh,
Which and
jeez.
what I'd been hearing was two first round picks and like a young player is like, what he's looking for. And not a lot of teams are wanting to give that up right now, despite like the value add that Cam Johnson. So I don't know if Sean Marks is gonna like fold as we get closer to the deadline. But there just like hasn't been a ton of discussion, I feel like, and it's getting so close. So we'll
I
see what happens.
know. I mean, I'm looking at Cam Johnson's stats right now. I know stats aren't everything, but the eye test, I mean, obviously he's the best player on our team, right? We've been saying this for a while now, especially since Schroeder got traded.
Yeah.
Um, his shooting splits, he's shooting 49 from the field, 49%,
Um,
42% from three,
Crazy.
and 90% from the free throw line, 19.4 points. He's practically 50, 40, 90,
Yeah.
practically 20 points per game. This is insane. I mean, you want to give up two first round picks for him? Like these, I mean, I feel like the West is so open right now. Like I think any of those teams I mentioned, not the Pacers, obviously they're out east, but the Grizzlies and the OKC, this could be there a year. I mean, the Celtics don't look that great. The Cavs don't have a ton of experience. Um, so if you make it to the finals, it's like you have a good shot. You have a good shot. And I think you have a good shot of making it out there if you're the Grizzlies or the Thunder. So it's crazy that they're being so stingy or that they wouldn't be willing to give up. I guess I guess Sean Marks might be asking like for two first round picks and like
That's
Nikola
what
Topic, who we talked about last time, which is a
that's
lot,
what I
right?
basically have been hearing. It's like he wants both those things.
Which is essentially three first round picks, right? As we
Right.
discussed.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get closer, but what I've been hearing is that Sean Marks is being stubborn and might actually probably won't. No one thinks this is going to happen, but like it's a non-zero chance he takes him past the trade deadline because he just doesn't get an offer that he likes.
so, so he might just be saying that or putting that out there so that he has like I guess leverage. I don't know if that's completely the right word, but he might be bluffing a little bit, is what I'm saying.
He's just trying to, yeah, goad someone into making a better offer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I, I have no idea what goes on
Um,
in his head, but
I know. I mean, so similar thing happened with Mikal Bridges, right? Obviously. We got offered 3 first round picks, or at least there was reports. We got offered 3 first round picks from the Grizzlies for Bridges.
mhm,
And we also got offered, I think, like Jalen Green and something else maybe from the Houston Rockets for Mikal
okay.
Bridges, and he stayed pat, right? Obviously didn't trade him at the trade deadline and got a
Mhm.
and got a much bigger package. Not
From
much
Nick.
bigger package, but definitely bigger from the
Yeah.
Knicks. So that worked out when that did happen. The thing is, that year, did we have our own 1st round pick? No, we didn't. That's why I think it's a bit different this year, right? We have our own 1st round pick. So us losing games is actually good for us in a way. So, and Cameron Johnson is obviously not helping us lose games. So he might be more inclined to trade him this year. That's the only difference I feel like between the Mikal and Cam Johnson situation. And I think it's a pretty important difference. And that's why I think he will get traded. But who knows? I guess again, we're not on the phone calls. We're not
Yeah. We'll see
in
if we have any new info by this time next week. I guess it could go pretty down to the wire, but we will
yeah,
see.
we will see.
Wish the best for that guy. I liked watching him play against the Knicks, even though there was some tough moments, but it was
Yeah,
good to have.
he did ball out for the most part.
He balled
Obviously
out.
there was one of those open threes I mentioned. It was one
Mhm.
from him and one from Keon Johnson, but again, it's all for the best. We still lost. We made them nervous. And that's all that counts. And we made it exciting. There was some stars out at the game. As you said, there's a lot of Knicks fans who can screw off, but Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney was there. Also, who would you say? Ben
Ben
Stiller.
Stiller. Yeah.
Ben Stiller's a Knicks fan though, but Sydney Sweeney, I saw some funny comments on Instagram, like they're lucky, or Knicks were lucky Cam Thomas wasn't playing because he would have balled out. And it was just like on a post of Sydney Sweeney at the game.
Does Cam Thomas do that? Like when there's pretty
Oh
girls?
yeah, yeah. Or that's a
Kid?
meme at least. There's been memes. You've never seen those?
No.
There's some, yeah. It's,
That's funny.
it is funny.
Yeah, it's definitely could have been a motivating factor, but no. I had a dream this week that I ran into Claxton on the subway.
That is weird. What?
Your
Did
dream,
anything
why do you
happen? Did anything happen or no?
know? I was just like, oh my God, that's Claxton. And that he was in this, it was a realistic dream because he was in the subway car so bent over because he was too fat.
That's funny. I kind of want to run into a NBA player, like a Wizards player. I don't know what, I wouldn't say anything.
But I
There's,
imagine they stick out, right? Like they would look so.
yeah, one of my old work friends saw Kristaps Porzingis, um, by where we worked, which was cool. You know, he used to play for the Wizards, but
Mhm.
yeah, so that would be cool. I feel like. I guess there's no one too cool to see, and on the Wizards right now. Or if I saw Jordan Poole, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
That'd be the one you'd want to see.
Yeah, Jordan Poole has been kind of balling out lately.
That's sick. I love to hear that.
And I do love to hear, yeah, because especially since I'm not, the biggest Warriors fan, to put it nicely. Um,
You're
it's
somewhat of a fan, just not the biggest.
of the Warriors.
Oh, sorry.
You thought I said Wizards.
Distracted by the sound of my calendar, and we were just talking about the Wizards, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but so Jordan Poole playing well kind of like rubs it in their face because
Yeah.
they gave him away for nothing because of that whole punch drama with Draymond. And now they're awful. Not awful, but the Warriors are not
Didn't
good.
Draymond comment something where he was like, I really, like recently on one of his posts, like, I really am sorry, bro, or something like that.
I know it was so embarrassing.
That guy's just awkward. He's just kind of an old head and he doesn't know what to do with himself.
I know the whole Warriors organization is a mess right now.
I will say Draymond's PR team is working overtime because why is he in these commercials looking so cute with his daughter all the time?
I know they're definitely working overtime. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of money.
Yeah, they're
Um,
rehabilitating his image.
I guess. But yeah, I feel bad for Schroeder because he's over there dealing with that.
I
There
know that.
was, and he's not doing well. I mean, they really did him dirty, the Warriors. I mean, he was tweaking with the Nets. He was playing like his best basketball. And
I
now
know.
he's with the Warriors and the vibes are just so bad.
It's
He
sad.
just there was that one funny clip of him. I don't know if you saw they were playing the Kings
Mm,
and the player on the Kings, I believe it was Malik Monk. He was like on the fast break. Like it was just him, right? Dennis Schroeder was like 10 feet behind him. And so he went up for like a fancy dunk and the ball hit his head while it was like in the rim. So it ended up bouncing out. So he like missed the wide open dunk on the fast break because he was trying to get fancy with it. And so Dennis Schroeder like got the ball and was just like, yeah, he was like he's doing his devious laugh. Like
devious laugh.
right in his face.
Miss that devious laugh.
It was
Need more of
hilarious.
that energy back. Okay, should we do shout outs?
Um, yeah, may as well.
Sorry, did you have something else to talk about?
No, I had nothing else to talk about. Chiefs game is tomorrow, so we already mentioned that though. We had our football segment at the beginning, so we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll check back in next week how things are going
that
with
could really,
that and
that
with
could
the
really,
Cam Johnson
yeah.
and with both the games, the NBA games we'll go to. So
Yeah,
look forward to that next week.
me
Um,
too.
you wanna kick us off with the shout out? Anyone you got a shout out?
Shout out Cam Johnson.
Shout out Cam Johnson.
You did. You can't hear what I'm saying. He
No,
did. He did what he needed to do against the Knicks, both good and bad, and I'd missed him. So love that.
that's good. Yeah, we love Cam Johnson. He's been
Yeah.
balling out. I think he'll be traded, but wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if he isn't, because we do love him. So, for me, I gotta give a shout out to no, I can't give a shout out to
Who?
uh let me give a shout out to Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback for the Washington Commanders. Been
Oh
balling out,
yeah.
absolutely balling out. Incredible run. Happy for the Commanders, even though I'm a Chiefs fan. Um,
Totally.
very happy for them. We'll be rooting for them tomorrow with with the Chiefs.
Commanders Chiefs Super Bowl.
That would be amazing. That would be glorious. The opposite of that though would be like I was thinking about it, like imagine if the Eagles beat the Bills in the Super Bowl. That would be a national tragedy, I feel
If the
like,
Eagles beat the Bills. Yeah, I
in the
think
Super Bowl, considering the Bills' history and the Eagles fans'
I'm just gonna say
reputation.
I don't think the Bills are gonna win, but if they do win, okay, here's my ranking of who I'd root for in the Super Bowl. Chiefs, Commanders, Bills, Eagles.
That's the most valid. That's the most valid. Although most people will say, obviously, most people will say Commanders, Bills, Chiefs Eagles. That's what I think most people would say.
A lay person who has like no affiliation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
However, well, we're from Kansas. You gotta
People might even have, yeah, Chiefs and Eagles like
probably pretty even. Yeah.
evenly
Yeah.
hated, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what my prediction is, and we'll see if it comes true, is that it's gonna look like the Bills are gonna win the entire game, and then there'll be like a turnover or something, and we win somewhere between 1 to 3 points. That's my prediction.
That would be brutal. That would be brutal. That's pretty much what happened last year. But
And it's been happening so, like, games like that have been happening so much to us. And the
we're
Bills didn't smash the Ravens by any means, so that's just my
no.
prediction.
Yeah, they didn't play a perfect game. We're 3-0 against the Bills in the playoffs. They're due to beat us, but we'll see what happens. It'll be exciting. All
Taylor,
right.
help us, Taylor Swift. Okay. Good talking to you.
Yeah, peace out.